So I'm putting on a shock that I ordered. I bought this shock from a guy who had taken some parts off of it and bought this motorcycle. It's a 1980 CR125, and I've really enjoyed just having it around. I haven't really started working on it yet, but one shock was missing, so I picked up these real cheap XL125 shocks. So I'm going to put them back on, put a shock back on it just to see if I can run it. The engine runs, it shifts through the gears. I didn't ride it, but I shifted it through the gears and it cranked it up. So let's see, I've got this bolt in here and I've got a nut on the back side here to try to, somebody had crushed these, somebody had over tightened these and crushed them in, and so I got a nut on the bolt and I'm backing it up to try to push this outside wall out here. I'm not sure I can get my wrench down in here. Alright, I guess that's going to be my limitations on it. So I'll probably try to do it a little different way. Let me just see what happens if I back this up some. It's not really doing anything because the inside nut's not turning. Well, it did turn a little bit. Try it again. Yep, yeah, it is turning some. You can't go too far with this because the bolt only threads in just so far. But I really don't have to go very far with it. Let's see if the shock fits in it. Looks like the shock might fit in there now. So let me loosen some of these up. Take it out and see if it fits. So if I get the shock on it, I'll have a chance to ride it. I've got to put my forks back on it. I took the forks off to clean them up. They had some rust on them. I'll push that out some. Not quite enough. I did the same thing at the bottom and it pushed out far enough, but gotta get the top. It's almost going. I wonder if the original shocks on this were not a thinner clevis on top. Like that clevis will go. But I'm pretty sure these shocks originally were mounted with the big side up, lightweight side down. So I'm gonna work on that some more, and then I'll hopefully show you when I get the shock in there. Okay, now we are we've got our little rig in here to spread out. Well, I can't pull that in too far and I'll be messing myself up. So I've got the stud screwed in right here, and then I've got the nut on the inside of the bracket, and as I screw that nut out, it'll force the bracket out, and that way it'll bend it back out the way it should be without creasing it or weakening it. That's pretty far out now, maybe further than I needed to go. Or maybe it'll be about right. I don't recommend people working on top of old car batteries like this, but it just happened to be the corner of the carport that I had stuck the motorcycle in for the time being, till we get a better place cleared out for it. See if the bottom's going to fit in there. Yeah, fits good, and the top works a lot better too. The only drawback it might be is that the shocks probably weren't designed to work in this position. But since the shocks were cheap and I'm just trying to get a way to get my bike stood up so that I can give it a test run. Don't want to go spend hundreds of dollars on shocks before I find out what all kind of work the rest of the bike might take. At this point, we're undecided whether it's going to be an operational motocross machine, which I doubt, or just a keepsake, which I think is probably going to be the case. If it's a keepsake, the shocks really don't matter. It'll just be something to put around the yard or ride around in the pit bike for a while. Now these shocks really work good right here because they clear everywhere, and they're probably a ½ inch, maybe three-quarters of an inch or an inch, ½ inch, something shorter than the original shock, which is fine because this is an extremely tall bike for a 125. About one of the first 125s that came out that actually looked like a 250 when you saw them at the races. Okay, so that's on. That could be rideable. I like the way that bolted up. Later on, if I leave these shocks on, I can take the springs off and have them painted or powder coated red. Could clean up these tops and bottoms of them a lot right here. But for now, that'll hold to ride around the yard. Or maybe take it out to the practice track and put around on the track and show it to my friends.